All right. Welcome to the week 2 review. The Atlanta Falcons have come back down 12 in the fourth quarter against the Carolina Panthers. I am Trayshawn. I'm joined by Savion and Fleek. We are the New Millennium Falcons podcast. Boys, what a game. What a how how are y'all feeling first of all? That was a classic Falcons heart attack game, but we came out the other side on
Yes,
that
we
one
did.
with the
Yeah, we
W.
did. Yep.
A
I
win is
mean,
a win.
personally, I feel very good. I feel very good. We will detail as to why I feel very good later, but I'm in a great place right now. I am coasting, guys. I am 2-0 for the first time in 6 years, dog. Like,
Woo!
no matter how you slice it, no matter how I got there, bro, I'm feeling something I ain't felt since I was a teenager, dog.
You're
That's
undefeated.
crazy.
You're
That's
undefeated.
crazy.
You
I don't
feel like
believe
a
it.
tentager when you're undefeated. You feel unstoppable. The world
What?
the
Come on
world
now.
can't touch you right
Can't
now.
tell me nothing, bro.
Can't Savion, what's that? What's that behind you? What's that say on the board?
Oh, this one right here.
What?
A win is a win, man. A win is a win.
It's a win.
I'm not. I don't know if we can just go straight up and say, oh yeah, it doesn't really matter the process of how we got there because there's a process to get there. But a win will always and forever be a win.
That's
a
right.
fact. These are
That's
just
right.
facts. Statistically.
Oh man, but you know what? Let's talk about that process because the Falcons did something that we have not really ever seen them do. We have seen them pull this off a few times in the Arthur Smith regime, but not to this level. It was the fourth quarter, 12:36 left on the clock, 24-12. The Green Bay Packers had an 88.3% win probability. All odds are against the team. What do the Falcons do? 13 unanswered points. The defense, 0 points allowed in the fourth quarter. A complete shutout after giving up 24 in the first three. I mean, this team played. They played a fourth quarter of football that'll beat anybody in the league. I'm gonna be honest. Like, that's that's high praise, but that's an impressive run. I would say
Oh yeah.
Bijan Robinson led that run. But what did it feel like, Fleek, to see the Atlanta Falcons come marching back after the start they had?
Dog. It was like I was reaching Nirvana. Y'all seen Naruto?
Yep.
Y'all know when he had to go face himself at the waterfall of truth, and he had to. It was him and him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at my Falcons, dog. I'm like, I've seen this before, but something about it, I'm gonna hold on and see. And we eventually came out on the other side. For me, the big part was the defense coming up with 3 straight 3-and-outs, dog. Like
Quit.
that right there, to me, like Bijan carried
Who
the
is
offense
that?
on his back.
Who is that?
Like,
Who are you?
what? Come
Welcome
on
to
now.
the Atlanta Falcons. It's nice to meet you.
Like, this is news to me. Like, I just kept thinking because we left a lot of points on that field today as an offense. We could have scored 30 points today. We left a lot. Say what you want about the match.
Two for 5 in the red zone, Fleek. 2 for 5.
Gotta be better, bro. But yeah, we're settling for field goals. We're settling for field goals, and our defense just kept stepping up. And that right there to me is the story of us being 2-0. Our defense.
I like that. Savion.
Y'all already know. I already came out with a stat, man. Everybody's talking about how we're in the fourth quarter. We have a margin, like what is it? A score differential of 27-0, right? That has happened one other time in Falcons history, and that was 1981. This has not happened. We have not seen. We have not been alive for anything like this when it comes to the Falcons. It happened in 1981. Season didn't end very well, but mainly it was because I'm not going to talk about it.
1981.
But the quarterback was Steve Bartkowski. That's how far.
Hey,
that's
shout
how
out to Bart.
long that
No
this
cap.
has been since then. I we really see like I really do feel like this is a different Falcons team, and I don't have anything to say against that.
Hmm.
It's different
Yeah.
in the ways that we need it to be different. We're able to like we're on the other side of the probability, curse or whatever it is.
Mhm.
I don't
Well,
know. It feels different. Like even
Yeah.
when we were down in the beginning of in the beginning of the fourth, we were able to bounce back. We had the ball, we were driving down, and it was like, yeah, we're gonna go score, and we're going to continue to score. And I don't know, it just felt different.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah, well,
agree.
you said this team felt different. Let's talk about a different team. Let's talk about the team from the first 3 quarters of this game.
Very different.
Mm.
That was that was a Fleek sent some tweets out, man. It got Fleek beside himself.
Hey,
A man
Never
listen.
that's
seen him act
a
like
man
that,
that's
man.
unshakable.
Look, listen.
And I would say it's justified because I mean, first of all, the Desmond Ritter turnover streak has officially ended
Hmm.
through an
Took a while.
interception.
Yep.
And luckily, it only began with one interception for this game because
Uh-huh. Could have
boy,
been. Could have
not
been.
only did they leave a lot of points on the table, they left a lot of picks on the table out there. There should have been 2 other interceptions that were pretty easy balls, and
Yeah.
it wasn't just Desmond Ritter. Like we talked about, the defense had given up 24 points.
Hmm.
Um, most of that in the first half. But
Hmm.
you know, everybody really seemed to tighten up there at the end.
Yeah.
What were your biggest causes for concern in that the first 3 quarters of that game?
Uh, I would say honestly, Desmond Ritter putting the ball in harm's way. You know, I know that statistically it ended with just one interception. Thank God for that. No cap. Because it could have been 3 or 4 easily. One thing I do know about Dez is he is a true gunslinger, which I love, but it's a gift and a curse. It's if he sees it and he wants it, he's gonna take it. But one thing I feel like he has to stop doing is predetermining his reads, and uh, I think that's what you've seen when he threw that should have been pick six straight to Jair Alexander.
Yeah, you're talking about
Um,
that stop route. Yeah,
yeah, he knew. He thought he was gonna have something that he did not have because Jair did
I mean
not
he
fear
sat
Dex.
on it the whole time.
Yeah,
What?
he
Yeah,
Sorry,
he
I'm
didn't.
sorry.
yeah.
What did he see? I don't know. I don't know if he thought that Jair was going to try to play over top of Drake, but that was predetermined because it should have been a pick six, right? But as Savion says, a win is a win, but that's something that we're going to have to get turned around because as we saw in the fourth quarter, when he could be at least somewhat efficient and get the ball to his weapons, like you can go. They got on a roll. They got hot so fast. They did all of this in the fourth quarter, bro. So if we can start better and consistently run efficiently, still no one's asking Desmond Ritter to be Patrick Mahomes. No one's asking him to be Joe Burrow. Just be efficient, right? We're
But
gonna be good.
you know what, Fleek? I think you bring up a good point there. But somebody did ask Desmond Ritter to be Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow today, and that was Arthur Smith. Like I said earlier, 2 for 5 in the red zone. There was a drive where they were in there and they threw the ball 3 times,
On the
three
one
times
yard line.
within the 3 yard line. This is what you draft Bijan Robinson for. I don't know what was going on with the play calling there. Like you said, Fleek, in the fourth quarter, they got going, they got rolling. How did they do that? Behind Bijan and behind
Bijan
the run game.
Robinson. And you see, but exactly what you say is another reason why I come out of here feeling optimistic. Because if you're gonna learn lessons, I would rather you win while learning those lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
all of the points that we left on the board, at least 10, at least probably more 13 points left on the board, and we still were able to squeak out the win. Like if we can just tighten up on those things and start hitting our stride by mid-season, this offense could be pretty good, bro. It really could.
Savion, does Arthur Smith's first two games as a play caller, do they worry you at all?
They worry me because he gets away from his identity that we have been building here. And the identity is that we are a run first team. And I mean, quite frankly, I won't even say that. I think he just gets away from it when he gets into the red zone, which is even more bizarre. This is the time where, you know, it's when the rubber hits the road. Who are you and what do you do best? And what we do best is run the football. So why are we starting to get cute when we get inside the 3-yard line? I don't make it make sense for me, because this is the time where you're supposed to be able to lean on your stars, who are Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier right now, because we're not entirely sure if our quarterback can get it to the other stars that are in the receiving room. I mean, that's a nice change up, but to get the game started, you need to stick with what works. And what works, especially in the first half when you're just trying to establish some things, is your run game. That's what got you down there. Yeah. So why depart from it? Why are you? Arthur's getting too cute for me, man.
Yeah, and I think he luckily recognized that this game, you know, and like we've mentioned throughout the show, they found themselves in the fourth quarter, and got back to what they needed to do. We saw, you know, the defense this game. I think we saw them miss Jeff Okuda the most.
Yeah.
You know, he again was a scratch. I think the hope is that he plays next week. They didn't put him on IR. That would have been 4 weeks minimum. So, you know, the assumption was that, you know, he'd at least be back hopefully by game 2 or game 3. He practiced this past week, so it looks like he should be good to go for game 3. You know, Trey Flowers had a little bit of rough go of it today. He did end the game with a PBU, so you know that's all that matters. How you finish, not how you start. And Troy Anderson was missed today too, I would say. I think there were a couple plays where he would have been able to make the angle that the other linebackers on the team just don't have the athleticism to make. I think that kind of showed up on the stretch touchdown. Landman was, or not Landman, Ellis was just you know, too slow, just not able to make that play. Troy's a special athlete. That's why they drafted him there. So it was a good game to miss those guys, because the Packers were without, you know, their left tackle and 2 of their best offensive options, especially when it comes to explosive plays. Are you guys feeling good about the defense today? Are you feeling you know, are you feeling like this was a good challenge for them? You know, everything considered. Overall, how'd you guys think of the performance?
I felt like the defense showed up when they needed to. I felt like they struggled a bit at times. There were plays where I thought Jordan Love was opportunistic, and I thought Mike LaFleur called a pretty good game for Jordan Love. I know a lot of people in the group chat have been showing love for LaFleur in this scheme and whatnot, but I think that the Packers offense was very efficient today. I think that we were fortunate that Aaron Jones and Christian Watson weren't there, because I feel like this could have been a very different game if they were, the way they were already clicking. But like I said, they stepped up when they needed to step up. They made plays when they needed to. We didn't create turnovers this week like we did last week, so we weren't able to lean on that. But we got stops, so that's all that matters.
And, you know, they didn't get turnovers, but I think we saw that they were able to limit big plays. Again, you know, now the big plays that did happen came over the middle, because those linebackers and coverage, that's exactly where the weak point of this defense is. So, you know, you saw the yak and stuff like that. But in terms of over the top and stuff like that, it really didn't get too bad. So that's still good to see. Before we move on here, I think the only other thing that is interesting to keep an eye on so far is we had 6 penalties today for 110 yards. So
Yeah.
gotta
Well,
gotta clean up the penalties
A
2
lot
weeks
of
in a row
those
a
were
here.
lot of
those
those
pass
came from those. Yeah,
interferences.
I think that was
Mhm.
81 yards worth of pass interference that he gave up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, like we mentioned, well, we'll see if Jeff Okuda fixes the pass interference problem, but
We don't know for sure.
we're
Yeah,
not
we
sure
don't know for
yet.
sure.
But I think he would have been a pretty good matchup with this receiving core today.
Yeah.
Um, Jordan Love looks good. What do you guys think? I thought the Packers were. I thought they were a pretty good team, all things considered. What he was missing from the offense.
Yeah, no, I do like how Jordan Love looked today. I think that him and LaFleur are a good combo. When they started clicking, you saw Jordan Love throw with anticipation. You saw him throw like he had some good ball placement. I mean, he looked very comfortable when him and LaFleur started clicking. Now when the defense started throwing some changeups, like I remember one blitz package that I can't wait to see on 22 that Nielsen threw at him that was ridiculous. When they were gotten them in like third and longs, he started to look a little shaky. But I mean, most quarterbacks not named Mahomes will, but it's just it looked good. It looked good. And that's kind of what makes this win look even better is that they did get on that roll for a solid 2 quarters. And we were able to not only withstand that, like we were able to take those jabs, we were able to take those haymakers and come back and, kind of throw some punches ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got less starts than Ritter, so
Exactly.
Yeah.
inexperienced
Yeah.
QB in his own right.
For sure.
Let's let's talk about the star power that was displayed today at the Benz. Guys, Bijan, 19 rushes, 124 yards. That's 6.5 yards per carry. 4 catches for 48 yards. Longest catch of the day being a 29-yard play. What more can you say about him through? I mean, what a 2-game debut. The offensive rookie of the
Dog.
year is clear. The question will be whether or not he can't win offensive player of the year. Because I
Yeah.
don't know if offensive rookie is going to be good enough.
Hey, dog. I tweeted out during the game that Bijan is a walking get out of jail free card, dog. If
Facts.
you need something done, get Bijan the ball. If you're
Huge facts.
struggling, get Bijan the ball. He's gonna make somebody miss, and he gives you the best chance to gain yards at any given moment. Bijan's instincts are crazy. I know they mentioned that Calais Campbell had said something about that, but that's something we all seen on film during the draft process, anyways. But to see it translate the way that it has, and his vision, he is setting up blocks, dog. Like he is
So pure.
playing one step ahead of the defense, and it's like he's moving in the matrix, dog. And it's crazy. It's his second game in the NFL, but he already looks faster than everyone. He looks quicker than everybody. Looks shiftier, stronger. Like I don't know, man. And shout out Tyler Algier too. I know he didn't have as impactful of a game today as he did last week. And with Desmond Ritter's 39 rushing yards, the Falcons were able to put up over 200 rushing yards today. We rushed for 211. The run game is still there, and I feel like we could have done even more damage. But we decided to, like you said, sometimes get away from what our identity has been. But, man, like, that backfield is showing out. Bijan, offensive rookie of the year, like, as long as everything stays on pace, easy.
Yeah, like you said, get out of jail free card. Falcons went 3 for 4 on 4th downs today.
Can I say something?
Bijan responsible for 2 of those conversions. So I mean, the man is good. The man is good.
On that last one, before the 2-minute warning, where if we didn't get that, game was probably over, we lose. If we don't take Bijan at 8, we don't get that. Because he put a move on somebody 3 yards in the backfield, bro. Like, Bijan, he's it, bro. He's him, dog. Like,
yes, like I don't think people understand. Like, there was somebody that was like Tyler Algier makes that same play. I love Tyler Algier. I think that he is going to be a fantastic thunder to Bijan's lightning.
Yeah,
he's not making that man miss 3 yards in the backfield.
No,
he's not.
Bijan
Robinson is.
Yeah. and quickly enough to re-accelerate to get the first down. That's the
Oh my
thing. He didn't
God.
get caught from the backside after making a move.
He brought that. It was supposed to be 3 yards in the backfield. He made it a 15-yard gain.
Yeah.
Bro, like,
I mean,
he's just different.
it sounds crazy, but he's LT. He really
Yeah,
is.
He
man.
is.
Yeah, dog.
You know, and I think it's I really do think we've got the closest thing to LT and Bernard Turner that we've seen in a while in terms of
Insane.
two high quality
Yeah.
backs. You know, Tyler's 1,000-yard back.
Yeah.
It's a different style, like Savion said. He's not making the plays that we've seen today, but he can still bruise his way through. Savion,
yeah.
let's talk about the other star on the team, Drake London. 6 receptions, 7 targets, 67 yards and a touchdown. Those are some elite fantasy football numbers. How do we feel about London's game?
I love it. I love it. He went up against one of the top corners, Jair Alexander, and just refused to back down. I love it, and I know he didn't get the targets that I think he wanted to get because I'm sure Jair was in his ear the entire game. So when
they were definitely chirping.
Yeah, you could tell because on that freaking on that third down attempt
route.
On that corner route when Jair, first of all, when Jair tried to bump him and he literally just said stop it.
Well, you look,
He said stop it and just went to the sideline. That's something that you can't coach.
No.
Yeah.
That's something that's strength that DBs don't want to mess with. Like if I punch you, you're supposed to at least stop.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to at least stop
route.
At the top of your route. He didn't. Not only did he not stop, I want to say he looked at him when he did it. And he was like, chill out. And went and proceeded on to his route. So I loved it. And then being able to box him out in the end zone to get that crucial touchdown in the fourth. Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Drake had a good bounce back game after having 0 receptions last game. He had the first reception of the game, first touch. So, we knew it would be a plan to get him the ball. He has the potential to be one of the top receivers in the league, top 15 receivers in the league, as long as he gets the attempts. And him and Ritter have had a great chemistry dating back to last season. So it's good to see that be continued today, and hopefully that just grows going forward.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say week 1 is an outlier. Ritter has not played many games, but in all the games he's played, 4 out of 5 of them, Drake London has been the main receiving target.
Can I talk about one more star though?
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna,
Kyle Pitts.
That's exactly who I was about to bring up. I was just about to say.
Listen, 2 receptions for 15 yards, man.
Man,
we are again.
What was it? What was it? Trey, where in the world is Kyle Pitts?
Yeah. I think Pitts will get his due. We're not really sure what Pitts' statistical production future is going to look like in terms of yards, catches, everything like that. We saw the opportunities on film in week 1. Where he was open. It seems like, he was the one by design schemed open a little bit more that week. Drake London was open more this week. I think we can see Pitts have this kind of game that we saw today from London, but we really hope to see one soon. It's great. We know that what Kyle's capable of. It just is, at some point you got to look at the fact that is a number 4 overall pick. And you want to see him get involved a little bit more.
Yeah. Hey.
The baby wanted to say hey.
Hey.
Hello.
But yeah, I do agree with y'all. I mean, there's got to be a way to get not just Pitts, but I mean everyone involved, because that's when these offenses are at their best, when everybody is a threat, when you have to look over and you have to make sure that Parker Hesse isn't in the game. Like those are the days when freaking Those are the days when like your offense is cooking, and I don't know if we're ever going to see that in an Arthur Smith offense. But I mean, I just want to see it one time where the passing offense is like going on all cylinders. Where it's like, man, I got to worry about everything about everybody on this field.
Yeah, and that's another thing I wanted to say too. Like with our offense being as run heavy as it is, I asked before the season, like we have so many people to feed. Like who's gonna lose out here? And a lot
Yeah.
of people told me Tyler Algier, but so far it's been Kyle Pitts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it'll be a different. I think it'll be somebody else every week. It's week 2 so far.
Yeah,
We did see a good amount of touches between Bijan and London, which is something that we didn't see last week. It was pretty much just the Bijan and Tyler Algier show. So, um, this offense performance today, when you look at it at the end of the day, 446 yards, 27 first downs, 36 minutes, 15 seconds time of possession. Not the best day on third down, but 75% on fourth down. They ended up getting to play their style of ball, and that's exactly what, the end result of them getting to do what they want to do usually looks like. They dominated the football. They racked up a bunch of first downs, and they limited the turnovers to just one. They lost the
yeah,
turnover battle today, but it could have been much worse.
it could have been. And back to the earlier point of not capitalizing. When you brought up the 446 yards, I got curious, and the defense actually held Green Bay to only 224
Mm-hmm.
total yards.
The defense had a good day.
Yeah,
Some bad field position is really what got the Packers set up for some scores there.
yeah,
But Ritter ended up operating fine, and ended up having a really good fourth quarter. He bounced back,
yep,
after having some throws that were questionable. The Falcons are 2-0.
yes, they are.
They face a Lions team that lost a tough overtime game today. How are you feeling about Ritter moving forward? How are you feeling about the Falcons right now as we get ready to go into this week and enjoy our Victory Monday?
Uh, yeah, go ahead, say man.
So you're gonna hear Miss Rachel in the background. I'm sorry, the baby has to have something. Um, I mean, this week coming up, that's a high-powered offense, man. Jared Goff is kind of, I won't say he's hitting on all cylinders, but he's hitting on enough cylinders to get them where they will need to go. And Ben Johnson is a heck of a play caller. So so this week we're going to enjoy this win, but just know next week that's going to be a hard-fought game because if we're looking to be into the playoffs, those are teams we have to beat.
Yeah,
Teams that can
Mm-hmm.
put up, that are liable to put up for your game.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Like, how are we going? I'm curious to see how we're going to manage that. How to manage that high-powered offense.
Yeah. Down 2 scores there in the fourth. I didn't really think that we had the ability to come back from that deficit at that point. And like you said, Savion, we're gonna have to be able to keep up in these scoring matches with playoff caliber teams because you can't just run it every single play and hold the ball. At some point somebody will get a lead on you and you got to be able to score, and they showed that they could do that today.
yeah, man. Nah, I agree. And like Savion said, that's a high powered offense. So I think this would be a good test for our defense. And if Jeff Okuda could be back to go up against the team that drafted him, that would be very nice too. That'd be a good story to watch.
I
Hopefully
don't
our
think he's missing this game. I don't think he's missing this game. Just me personally.
yeah, bro. I hope he has that chip on his shoulder and ready to go, dog. If our defense can hold up well and Ritter play a little bit better, just continue to progress, man. I got faith in the Falcons. Just got to execute better.
I think execution is key. That really is, the difference between the first 3 quarters of that game and the final fourth quarter that put it away was them executing, especially at the QB position. I think
Yeah,
we haven't quite seen QB play that's completely surpassed what we got last season. And that's not a total slight. I would say we're getting the upper end of that QB play of what we got last year. We're definitely not getting the worst of that.
Yeah,
all the time. We've seen some
yeah,
bad throws, but again, hey, if the ball's not getting turned over, it does, it's still not a turnover.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, and Ritter
and this,
using his legs too. I want to see more of that, more
yeah,
read
I'm
option.
glad you said that, Fleek. Yeah, Ritter got his legs more involved today. He started taking advantage of some run lanes. You've been calling for that, saying that that's something that you've been wanting to see. So I'm sure that had to feel good.
Yeah, man, it just opens up the offense. Like when you have to account for him in the run game too, or if you have to account for him when you're dropping back playing man, or even if you're in zone and you're abandoning certain zones, if you have to worry about him scrambling for 5, 10 yards each time as well, that's just another weapon in the offense.
Well, yeah, I agree. And I think that's also just going to help him settle in. I think he started realizing, you know, maybe I'm holding the ball just a little bit too long on some of these. He gets out there on the edge and it's like, oh man, just take off. Like you have the speed, just go, just rip it. You don't have to look for the pass every play. And I gotta say it's hard for him right now because we're seeing a lot of 3-man max protect out there. So when he has to improvise, it's not really easy to do so because you essentially have the receivers on 3 levels. You've got one guy kind of around the flat. You've got somebody in the little intermediate 5 to 10 zone, and then you've got somebody in the zone behind that. And there's not really, that's blanketed in coverage. It's hard for those guys to then make a move and get open. So, using your legs more was definitely a good thing to see because, like Fleek said, opens up the offense, and then those guys will come up and you can get some of those shots.
Yeah, and then you kind of saw like I'm not saying that like his arm is limited, so like if those deep shots, like let's say he's trying to hit something like a deep post or a go route or something like that, yeah, one of those head tops, he's gonna have to see it like immediately. Like he's gonna have to see that immediately, and if it's not open immediately, that's just one more route that he simply can't make based off the fact that he doesn't have the arm talent to get there. So now that three route combination is into a 2 route combo, and he's getting out of the pocket and hoping and praying that somebody comes and helps. And so seeing him being able to move out of the pocket and being able to extend a play is good, but we also need play calling that kind of helps him with that as well. We need to have more guys that are out in out in routes, and part of that is having the trust in your guys up front to be able to block for a for a true drop back situation. And I don't think Arthur Smith has that right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's gonna need to extend plays because he's got that nasty Detroit D line next week.
Oh my gosh,
Um, and those guys are getting after it. I thought the O line today it was all right.
It
Green
was
Bay has a
fine.
legitimate defensive line. So, I knew that they would get home. I didn't think it was definitely not the fiasco that we saw last week in week 1. Um, and Matthew Bergeron, the rookie, gave up a sack today. You're going to live with that. He's a rookie. Again, he recovered after that sack. He didn't let it turn into 2 or 3. And he bounced back from that, and that's what you like to see. And they're gonna have to be ready for Aiden Hutchinson in that line.
Taylor McGarry, y'all.
It,
Taylor McGarry
yeah.
versus Aiden Hutchinson.
That's
It's
a
too
scary,
it's too
bro.
early for predictions, but how are you guys feeling, about the Lions game? Let's close out with that. Are you guys expecting the Falcons to start 3-0? Are you ready to ride this winning wave? Or do you think that this is maybe the first loss of the season?
Listen, so this game against the Lions, they are going to have to be coming out, with their hair on fire to keep up. But I do have to remember whenever I evaluate Desmond that he's essentially still a rookie when it comes to how many how many starts he has, his mindset going into a game and all that type of stuff, getting ready to go into a game. So I'm not ready to say, oh yeah, we're ready to compete against this team that has the firepower to stick with the Chiefs, even if it was just a week one game, whatever. But to be able to hang 31 points on Seattle, like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not ready to just say, yeah, I think he's going to go toe to toe with Ben Johnson and Jared Goff, who, they've been around the block a couple times. So paint
That's
me
fair. Hey,
somebody
that's fair.
that needs to see it to believe it.
Hey, like I said, we're gonna enjoy Victory Sunday or Victory Monday when this is posted tomorrow. We're gonna enjoy ourselves with this win
Sure
right
are.
now. So I think that's a fair take. Fleek, how are you feeling right now?
Hey man, I'm on a high horse right now, dog. I'm gonna enjoy this week, like y'all say. As far as the game next week, I don't know, man. Like I said, I think it's gonna be a tale of what our defense can do. Can we keep this offense grounded? Can our offense take a step forward? Will our rushing attack continue to dominate? Right, these are the things that have to be answered. Will we clean up the penalties? I'm looking forward to a tough game, but this is a good litmus test for me to see what this team really is. Are we truly contenders? Right? Are we truly neck and neck with the Lions per se, or the Jags per se, or these teams that you can look at and say, okay, they might be up to something. Like, are we in that tier? That's what I really want to see. In the way that we fight and play, whether we win or lose. By the way, I just want to see how that game turns out.
All right, I agree. Well, guys, it was a great show. I'm glad that we could get here and enjoy ourselves and talk about another dub for the second week in a row. We'll talk more about the Lions game later this week. We'll have another show posted where we get a little bit more detailed into the game. That should be coming out on Wednesday, so look forward to that. Any other words before we get out of here, guys?
Guys, enjoy this, man. It's been a while since we've been 2-0. It's been a while since we've had any type of optimism. I just looked on the TL. We got dudes dancing around in Kyle Pitts jerseys with pads on. I don't know why y'all still got y'all pads from high school on, but hey, man, it is what it is. Y'all enjoy yourselves, man. Go out to Magic City, whatever you do. Enjoy yourselves.
Fleek.
Yeah. Hey, just like Savion said, bro, enjoy this one. You don't know how many of these you get. You 2-0 for the first time in 6 years. Some of y'all kids wasn't even thought about last time the Falcons were 2-0. So smile this week. Have a good week, man. Stay positive, and we will see y'all midweek, dog.
That's right. That's right. Thank y'all for watching the New Millennium Falcons podcast. Make sure to follow us on YouTube at New Millennium Falcons. We're going to start posting up there. We're actually one subscriber away from 100. So be the 100th subscriber. Like, share, get the word around. We're going to be bringing you guys the best analysis all season. And thanks for watching.